Good day, everyone. I am Azea Leslie P. Agas from BSED Mathematics 3B. Today, I will be presenting my final project in abstract algebra entitled Permutation Group. This project is a creative integration of abstract algebra and geometry to visualize the structure of a permutation group. So let me recall first my G-union algebra. So again, this is my G-union algebra. This model represents how symmetries, specifically rotations and reflections, can demonstrate the behavior of a permutation group. Here are front and back views of the model. It contains elements and transformations arranged in a circular and reflective structure that correspond to permutations in a group. The model contains 16 symmetries or elements, 8 rotations labeled as E, C, H, O, S, E, N, and G, and 8 reflections labeled 1 through 8. These elements form the basis of our permutation group. So let's go back to our 16 symmetries. Consider the G-union model with total of 16 symmetries and rotation. So rotate 45 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees clockwise, 135 degrees clockwise, 180 degrees clockwise or counterclockwise, 225 degrees clockwise, 270 degrees clockwise, 315 degrees clockwise, and for reflection we have reflection over vertical axis V, reflection over left diagonal 1, left diagonal 2, left diagonal 3, and horizontal axis, right diagonal 1, right diagonal 2, right diagonal 3, a total of 16 symmetries or 16 elements. So the model visually represents a set of 8 arms arranged symmetrically around a central point, labeled with different symbols. On front, we have the letters, and at the back, we have the numbers. Since the model has 16 total of symmetries, including rotations and reflections, each symmetry represents a permutation of a arm position. So we classify the movements into two. We have the rotations, which turn the model clockwise, and reflection, which flip the model over an axis. So here are the moves. To symbolize this, I use alpha sub I for rotations and delta sub I for reflection. For rotation, turning the whole model clockwise, and for reflections, flipping over an axis or diagonal flips. So here are some examples of how the geometric model behaves under various operations. On the left, the original figure, and on the right is the result after applying a specific symmetry, either rotation or a reflection. So first we have the do nothing. The upper row of the notation will be the result, and the lower row will be the corresponding elements from the original figure. So E, E, C, C, H, H, O, O, S, S, E, E, N, N, G, G. So alpha sub 1, rotate 45 degrees clockwise. We got E maps to G, so E, G, C, E, H, C, O, H, S, O, E, S, N, E, and G, N. So here is the result. Next, alpha sub 2, rotate 90 degrees clockwise. So we have E, N, C, G, H, E, O, C, S, H, E, O, N, S, G, E. Next, we have alpha sub 3, rotate 135 degrees clockwise. So we got E, E, C, N, H, G, O, E, S, C, E, H, N, O, and G, S. Next, we have alpha sub 4. Rotate 180 degrees clockwise or 180 degrees counterclockwise. So we have E, S, C, E, H, N, O, G, S, E, E, C, N, H, and G, O. E, S, C, E, H, N, O, G, S, E, E, C, N, H, G, O. Next, alpha sub 5, rotate 225 degrees clockwise. Or rotate 135 degrees counterclockwise. So we have E here, O, E, O, C, S, C, S, H, E, H, E, O, N, O, N, S, G, S, G, E, 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 N, C, N, C, G, H, G, H. Next, we have the alpha sub 6, rotate 270 degrees clockwise. Or rotate 90 degrees counterclockwise. So here we have E, H, C, O, C, O, H, S, H, S, O, E, O, E, S, N, S, N, E, G, E, G, N, E, N, E, G, C, G, C. Last, for the rotation, we have alpha sub 7, rotate 315 degrees clockwise or rotate 45 degrees counterclockwise. So we have E, C, E, C, C, H, C, H, H, O, H, O, O, S, O, S, S, E, S, E, E, N, E, N, N, G, N, G, G, E, G, E. Next, we move forward to our reflection symmetry. Delta sub 1, flip the model using a vertical axis. Here we have 1E, 1E, 2G, 2G, 3N, 3N, 4E, 4E, 5S, 5S, 6O, 6O, 7H, 7H, and 8C, 8C. Next, we have delta sub 2, flip using left diagonal 1. So the result is 1C, 1C, 2E, 2E, 3G, 3G, 4N, 4N, 5E, 5E, 6S, 6S, 7O, 7O, 8H, 8H. Next, we have delta sub 3, flip using left diagonal 2 axis. The results are 1H, 1H, 2C, 2C, 3E, 3E, 4G, 4G, 5N, 5N, 6E, 6E, 7S, 7S, 8O, 8O. Next, we have delta sub 4, flip using left diagonal 3 axis. The results are 1, O, 1, O, 2H, 2H, 3C, 3C, 4E, 4E, 5G, 5G, 6N, 6N, 7E, 7E, 8S, 8S. Next, we have delta sub 5, flip using horizontal axis H. So 1 maps to S, 1S, 2 O, 2O, 3H, 3H, 4C, 4C, 5E, 5E, 6G, 6G, 7N, 7N, 8E, 8E. Next, we have delta sub 6, flip using right diagonal 3. 1E, 1E, 2S, 2S, 3O, 3O, 4H, 4H, 5C, 5C, 6E, 6E, 7G, 7G, 8N, 8N. Next, we have delta sub 7, flip using right diagonal 2. The results are 1N, 2E, 3S, 4O, 5H, 6C, 7E, 8G. At last, we have the delta sub 8, flip using right diagonal 1. 1G, 2N, 3E, 4S, 5O, 6H, 7C, 8E. Now, let's verify if the group G, E chosen G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is closed under permutation multiplication. And we cannot do that without filling the table first. So let's perform first the permutation multiplication so that we can fill this table. So listen carefully as I teach you the process. In group theory, a permutation is a rearrangement of elements in a set. Permutation multiplication means combining two permutations by performing one after the other. It is similar to composing two functions. So for example, here we have alpha sub 0 and alpha sub 1. So we need to perform first to alpha sub 1, then insert it to the alpha sub 0. So E results to G, then we find G to alpha sub 0, and its result is G. Therefore, the result will be E and G. So here, that's how permutation multiplication works. So E, G, G, E, therefore E, G. C, E, then find E to the other side. We have E, E, therefore C, E. Next, H, C, 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 H, C. O, H, 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 O, H. S, O, 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 S, O. E, S, 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 E, S. N, E, 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 N, E, G, N, 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 G, N. So the result of alpha sub 0, alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 1. So you can find its corresponding notation here. Next, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 2, En, Nn, En. So, alpha sub 0 is the identity element. Therefore, all the results will be itself if we are going to combine alpha sub 0 to any of the elements. So, that's how permutation multiplication works. So, here, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 6 is equal to alpha sub 6. Alpha sub 0, alpha sub 7 is equal to alpha sub 7. Alpha sub 0, delta sub 1 is equal to delta sub 1. Alpha sub 0, delta sub 2 is equal to delta sub 2. Alpha sub 0, delta sub 3 is equal to delta 3. So 1H, H is 1H, 2C, C, 2C. So there. Next, alpha sub 0, delta sub 4 is equal to delta sub 4. Alpha sub 0, delta 5 is equal to delta 5. Alpha sub 0, delta 6 is equal to delta 6. Alpha sub 0, delta 7 is equal to delta 7. Alpha sub 0, delta 8 is equal to delta 8. There. So now let's find out the other side. And upon performing, we could get this column. Upon performing alpha sub 1, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 2, alpha sub 0, and so on. Because alpha sub 0 is the identity element, the result will be itself. This table shows that identity element exists and it is alpha sub 0. So let's just continue the permutation multiplication. Alpha sub 2, alpha sub 1, we have EG, GE, EE, CE, EN, CN, HC, CG, HG, OH, HE, OE, S, O, OC, so CS, ES, SH, so EH, NE, EO, NO, GN, NS, GS. So, alpha sub 2, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 3. Alpha sub 3, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 4. Alpha sub 4, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 5. Alpha sub 5, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 6. Alpha sub 6, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 7. Alpha sub 7, alpha sub 1 is equal to alpha sub 0. Now let's see the permutation multiplication of delta to alpha. So, I assigned numeric values to the elements for easier mapping because you cannot map this. E.g., where's the letter in the first row here? So, you cannot map. Therefore, upon analyzing how to perform permutation multiplication properly, there is a need to map the elements in terms of their numeric pairings to ensure proper alignment in the two-line notation. So, for instance, we have E maps to 1, C maps to 2, 8 maps to 3, O maps to 4, S maps to 5, E maps to 6, N maps to 7, and G maps to 8. So that we could operate this permutation multiplication. So instead of letters, we translate it to numbers through mapping. So let's continue the permutation multiplication. Delta sub 1, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 2. Since we changed the letters into numbers, we can now map it easily. So 1, 8, 8C, so 1C. 2, 1, 1E is 2E. 3, 2, 2G is 3G. So delta sub 1 and alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 2. Delta sub 2, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 3. Delta sub 3, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 4. Delta sub 4, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 5. Delta sub 5, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 6. Delta sub 6, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 7. Delta sub 7, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 8. Delta sub 8, alpha sub 1 is equal to delta sub 1. Continuing the process, we will fill this table, and this is the table of my permutation multiplication. Now we will find out if this table forms a group structure. The table is considered a group structure if it satisfies the group axioms. These are closure property, associativity, identity element exists, and inverse element exists for all. Let's now explore whether these permutations form a group. We evaluate closure, identity, associativity, and inverse elements. Through exploration and investigation and checking, we see that the structures satisfy all group properties. So, is the permutation table a group structure? Let's see. But before that, these are the conditions for it to be a group. First, it must be closed. For all elements A, B in this set, the result of the operation A star B is also in the set. It is well defined, wherein the operation always gives a clear, exact, and unique result. Associativity, you can group the elements anyway when combining them, and the result is still the same. Identity element exists, there's one special element that doesn't change others when used. And a while ago, we discovered that alpha sub 0 is the identity element of this group. Next, inverse element exists for all. For every element A in the set, there exists an element inverse of A such that A star inverse of A is equal to inverse of A star A is equal to E, where E is the identity element. Since all the results in the table is elements of a finite set, therefore it is closed since all the results are inside the set as well. To check for the associativity, we need to flip the table 180 degrees, then observe if it will be the same as the original table. If the flipped table is not identical to the original one, there is a need to interchange rows and columns. So since this table is not the same to the original one, we need to flip some columns and interchange. Now let's see. So let's see if the original table is now identical to the original table. Let's observe. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So now the original table is identical to the flipped and interchange table. Since the flipped and interchanged table match the original table, therefore it is associative. To identify if a group table has an identity element exist, we need to check the first row and first column of the table if it is identical to the first or the header row and the header column. So as we can see, they are identical to each other, therefore identity element exists. Now let's see if there exists an inverse element for all. Let's get the inverse of each of the element first using the table and using the identity element. So a sub 0, alpha sub 0 star alpha sub 0 is alpha sub 0, so the inverse of alpha sub 0 is alpha sub 0. The inverse of alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 7. The inverse of alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 6. The inverse of alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 5. The inverse of alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 4. The inverse of alpha sub 5 is alpha sub 3. The inverse of alpha sub 6 is alpha sub 2. The inverse of alpha sub 7 is alpha sub 1. The inverse of delta sub 1 is delta sub 1. Inverse of delta sub 2 is delta sub 2. Inverse of delta sub 3 is delta sub 3. Inverse of delta sub 4 is delta sub 4. The inverse of delta sub 5 is delta sub 5. The inverse of delta sub 6 is delta sub 6. The inverse of delta sub 7 is delta sub 7. The inverse of delta sub 8 is delta sub 8. Now, to verify if an inverse element exists for all, we will use the permutation multiplication. Alpha multiplied alpha, inverse of alpha is equal to E, and delta multiplied by inverse of delta is equal to E. So E is alpha sub 0, which is the identity element, E, E, C, C, H, H, O, O, S, S, E, E, N, N, and G, G. So the inverse of alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 7. So let's see if the result will be the identity element. So E, C, C, E, 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 C, H, H, C, 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 H, O, O, H, 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 O, S, S, O, 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 S, E, E, S, 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 E, N, N, E, 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 N, G, G, N, 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 G, E, E, G, G, G. So, it's true that the inverse of alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 7. Next, we have the inverse of alpha sub 2. So, alpha sub 2, alpha sub 6, E, H, H, E, 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 C, O, O, C, 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 H, S, S, H, 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 O, E, E, O, 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 S, N, N, S, 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 E, G, G, E, 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 N, E, E, N, 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 G, C, C, G, G, G. So it's true that the inverse of alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 6. Next, we have the inverse of alpha sub 3. The inverse of alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 5. Alpha sub 3, alpha sub 5, E, O, O, E, 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 C, S, S, C, 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 H, E, E, H, 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 O, N, N, O, 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 S, G, G, S, 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 E, 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 N, C, C, N, 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 G, H, H, G, G, G. So it's true that the inverse of alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 5. Next is the inverse of alpha sub 4. Alpha sub 4 is equal to the identity element alpha sub 0. Therefore, the inverse of alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 4. ES, SE, EE, CE, EC, CC, HN, NH, HH, OG, GO, SE, ES, SS, EC, CE, EE, NH, HN, NN, GO, OG, GG. Next is the inverse of alpha sub 5. The inverse of alpha sub 5 is alpha sub 3. So let's check. Alpha sub 5, alpha sub 3, EE, 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 CN, NC, CC. So the result is the identity element. Therefore, alpha sub 5, the inverse of alpha sub 5 is alpha sub 3. Next, we have alpha sub 6. The inverse of alpha sub 6 is alpha sub 2. So let's check. EN, NE, EE, CG, GC, CC, HE, EH, HH. So as we can see, the result is the identity element. Therefore, the inverse of alpha sub 6 is true that it is alpha sub 2. Next, we have the inverse of alpha sub 7. The inverse of alpha sub 7 is alpha sub 1. So let's check. EG, GE, EE, CE, EC, CC, HC, CH, HH, OH, HO, OO, and so on. Therefore, the result is the identity element. Then alpha sub 7, the inverse of alpha sub 7 is true that it is alpha sub 1. Next is the delta. Let's check if the inverse of delta sub 1 is delta sub 1. So here, E1, 1, E. So as we can see, the result is the identity element. Therefore, the inverse of delta sub 1 is true that it is delta sub 1. As well as delta sub 2, the result also is the identity element when you perform permutation multiplication. Therefore, it is true that the inverse of delta sub 2 is delta sub 2. Next, delta sub 3. As we can see, the result is the identity element as well. Therefore, the inverse of delta sub 3 is delta sub 3. Next, we have the delta sub 4. The inverse of delta sub 4 is itself. Since when we perform permutation multiplication, we will get its identity element. Therefore, it is true that the inverse of delta sub 4 is delta sub 4. Next, delta sub 5. We also get the identity element when you operate delta sub 5, delta sub 5. Therefore, the inverse of delta sub 5 is delta sub 5. Next, delta sub 6. So, E6, 6E, EE. So, as we can see, the result also is the identity element. Therefore, it's true that the inverse of delta sub 6 is itself, which is delta sub 6. Delta sub 7 as well. If we are going to operate this, we will get identity element, and it says that the inverse element of delta sub 7 is itself, which is delta sub 7. And at last, delta sub 8. The inverse element of delta sub 8 is itself, and it is proven by operation permutation multiplication. Therefore, identity element exists and inverse element exists for all. Therefore, this table is a group. Now, let's identify its subgroups using a generator. So alpha sub 0 generates itself. Alpha sub 1 generates alpha sub 2, alpha sub 3, alpha sub 4, alpha sub 5, alpha sub 6, alpha sub 7, alpha sub 0, and alpha sub 1. Alpha sub 2 generates alpha sub 4, alpha sub 6, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 2. So this is how it works. So in alpha sub 1, we operate alpha sub 1 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 2. Alpha sub 2 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 3. Alpha sub 3 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 4. Alpha sub 4 is star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 5. Alpha sub 5 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 6. Alpha sub 6 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 7. Alpha sub 7 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 0. Alpha sub 0 star alpha sub 1 is alpha sub 1. So the elements that generated by alpha sub 1 are alpha sub 2, alpha sub 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, alpha sub 0, and alpha sub 1. So it same goes by alpha sub 2. So alpha sub 2 star alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 4. Alpha sub 4 star alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 6. Alpha sub 6 star alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 0. And alpha sub 0 star alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 2. Next, alpha sub 3. So alpha sub 3 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 6. Alpha sub 6 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 1. Alpha sub 1 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 4. Alpha sub 4 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 7. Alpha sub 7 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 2. Alpha sub 2 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 5. Alpha sub 5 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 0. Alpha sub 0 star alpha sub 3 is alpha sub 3. Next, alpha sub 4. So alpha sub 4 star alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 0. Alpha sub 0 star alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 4. And so on. So alpha sub 5 generates alpha sub 2, 7, 4, 1, 6, 3, 0, 5. And alpha sub 6 generates 4, 2, 0, and 6. Alpha sub 7, on the other hand, generates 6, 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 0, 3. Next, let's check if what are the elements generated by delta 1 through delta 8. So all the elements from delta generates identity element and itself. So delta 1 generates alpha sub 0 and delta 1. Delta 2 generates alpha sub 0 and delta sub 2. Delta sub 3 generates alpha sub 0 and itself. Delta sub 4 generates alpha sub 0 and delta sub 4. Delta sub 5 generates alpha sub 0 and delta sub 5. Delta 6 generates alpha sub 0 and delta 6. Delta 7 generates alpha sub 0 and itself, delta 7. Delta 8 generates alpha sub 0 and itself. So we have our subgroups through generator. But the question is that all we have? Is that all the subgroups? Let's discover more its subgroups. Since we have elements whose inverses are themselves, we could identify some other subgroups of the table with those facts that we have. So let's investigate. So notice that in the group of alphas, we only have two elements that its inverse is itself, like alpha sub 0 and alpha sub 4. On the other hand, in the groups of deltas, all of their inverses is themselves. So aside from the identity element, only alpha sub 4 has an inverse of itself, alpha sub 4. We will use these elements as our basis to find some other subgroups of this permutation multiplication table. Now let's try to combine this subgroup to another two subgroups. So let's name this as A. Okay. So in the table, consider an infinite set C. Here, the deltas, let's say this is infinite set C, delta 1 to delta 8. It can be partitioned into two cells, a subset of odd numbers and a subset of even numbers. Odd numbers that leave a remainder of 1 when divided by 2, and even numbers that leave a remainder of 0 when divided by 2. So, here, this is the cell 1 and cell 2. This partitioned cell needs to be partitioned once again. So let's consider the infinite set O, which is the odd numbers, and its combination ordered pairs. So let's combine 1, 3, 3, 5. Its combination ordered pairs are here. Delta 1, delta 3, delta 1, delta 5, delta 1, delta 7, delta 3, delta 5, delta 3, delta 7, and delta 5, delta 7. So this is how we partitioned the cell once again. So again, we partitioned it a while ago from odd and even. Now, this odd infinite set, we were going to partition it using a combination of ordered pairs. So here is our new set of odd numbers, which are the combination of the odd numbers. Now we were going to partition it into three sets. So combination of two numbers that have the difference of 2, combination of two numbers that have a difference of 4, combination of two numbers that have a difference of 6. So 3 minus 1 is 2, 5 minus 3 is 2, 7 minus 5 is 2. So here is our first cell. Second cell is the difference of 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. 7 minus 3 is 4. So this is our cell 2. And our cell 3 is the difference of 6. So 7 minus 1 is 6. Now, each partition of the set yields relations, meaning order matters. Partitioning means segregating the elements and no elements are repeated. Even though 1, 3, and 3, 5, they both have 3 in relations, order matters. So 1, 3 is different from 3, 5. So no repeated elements. Now, the result satisfies the definition of a partition with no overlapping elements. Now, cell 1 contains 3 ordered pairs, cell 2 contains 2 ordered pairs, and cell 3 contains 1 ordered pair. We know that delta sub 1 star delta sub 7 is alpha sub 6, and alpha sub 6 is not an element of delta sub 1, 3, and 5. Therefore, this cell is eliminated. Next, among two choices, cell 1 and cell 2, the answer is obviously cell number 2. Because the only cell that has a total number of elements that is a factor of 16, using the Lagrange theorem, is the cell number 2 because it has 2 ordered pairs. So, cell number 1 will be eliminated as well. So, we only have cell number 2 to combine in our subgroup A. So, cell number 2, combining to subgroup A, we will get a subgroup of alpha sub 0, alpha sub 4, delta sub 1, and delta sub 5. Next, combining A to the other ordered pairs, which is delta sub 3 and delta sub 7, we will get our subgroup D, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 4, delta sub 3, delta sub 7. Later on, we will check if they are a group structure, or they satisfy the group structure. So let's check if our first discovered subgroup is a group structured, which is closed, associative, identity element exists, and inverse element exists. So as we can observe from our first subgroup B, it is isomorphic to Klein 4 group. Therefore, our subgroup is a group. Also, our second subgroup is isomorphic as well to Klein 4 group. A Klein 4 group is a well-known group with 4 elements that follow the specific identity and inverse rules. Therefore, our subgroup D is closed, associative, identity element exists, and inverse element exists, as well as our subgroup B. Next, let's consider the other partition, which is the even elements, so that we could get another subgroups from here. So, its combination ordered pairs are, we have delta sub 2, delta sub 4, delta sub 2, delta sub 6, delta sub 2, delta sub 8, delta sub 4, delta sub 6, delta sub 4, delta sub 8, delta sub 6, delta sub 8. Now, we can partition this group into 3 again, combination of 2 numbers that have a difference of 2, difference of 4, difference of 6. Now, let's eliminate some cell. Since these cells satisfy the definition of partition, it is correct. So among these cells, let's choose the proper cell that we will combine to our subgroup A. So we all know that delta sub 2 star delta sub 8 is equal to alpha sub 6, and alpha sub 6 is not part of a group, so cell number 3 is eliminated from the choices. And among 2 choices, cell number 1 and cell number 2, the obvious answer is cell number 2, since the only cell that has a total number of elements that is factor of 16 according to Lagrange theorem is the cell number 2. 3 is not a factor of 16, therefore we will going to eliminate the cell. So we've got the cell number 2 to combine to our subgroup A. Subgroup A plus the element delta sub 2 and delta sub 6, we will get H. Subgroup H contains alpha sub 0, alpha sub 4, delta sub 2, and delta sub 6. Next, combining subgroup A to the elements delta sub 4 and delta sub 8, we will get the subgroup I that contains alpha sub 0, alpha sub 4, delta sub 4, and delta sub 8. Since subgroup H is also isomorphic to Klein 4 group, therefore H is a group structure, as well as I isomorphic to the Klein 4 group or Klein 4 group, therefore it is also a group structure. It shows that they are closed, associative, identity exists, and an inverse element exists for all. So partitioning based on those congruence and differences allows us to spot patterns. So to conclude our exploration of the subgroups, given a finite set of numeric elements or the delta elements partitioned by odd and even, subgroups can be systematically identified by secondary partitioning based on a constant 2-element differences. The pairs whose operation yields symmetric elements such as S and are closed with respect to the identity E are candidates for subgroup construction. So we have a total of 4 other subgroups that adds to our subgroups of permutation group. The question is that all we have? So I discovered that we can add the first partitioning to our another subgroup to form an order of 8 elements. So let's check if they form a group structure. So a while ago, we partitioned the delta group into 2, which is odd and even. Now I will add each of these elements or each of these cell to the elements generated by alpha sub 2 and alpha sub 6, which are 0, 2, 6, and 4. And let's see if they are candidates for subgroup. So here, elements generated by alpha sub 2 and alpha sub 6 plus the odd numbers, odd delta numbers. We have alpha sub 4, alpha sub 2, alpha sub 0, alpha sub 6, delta 1, delta 2, delta 1, delta 3, delta 5, delta 7. I named it O. And adding again to the even numbers of deltas, so I named it E. Let's verify if it's a group structure. So here is the table of O. Since all of the results are inside the set O, therefore it is closed under the binary operation. Next, to check the associativity, we need to flip. Let's check if the flip table is identical to the original table. So here, let's see, 0, 0. So as we can observe, some of the columns are not identical to each other. Therefore, there is a need to interchange columns from our flip table. So let's interchange column 2 to column 4, column 5 to column 7. Now let's check if they are already identical to each other. Even if we flipped and interchanged the table, the result's still the same. That indicates that our table is associative. Now, let's check if identity element exists. Since the first row and first column of our table are identical to the row header and column header, therefore identity element exists. And the identity element is alpha sub 0. Now let's check if inverse element exists for all. To get the inverse elements of all the elements, we need to utilize the identity element. So, the identity elements are the highlighted by yellow. So, the inverse of alpha sub 0 is alpha sub 0, inverse of alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 6, inverse of alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 4, inverse of alpha sub 6 is alpha sub 2, inverse of delta sub 1 is delta sub 1, inverse of delta sub 3 is delta sub 3, inverse of delta sub 5 is delta sub 5, the inverse of delta sub 7 is delta sub 7. Therefore, inverse element exists for all. So, we have another subgroup, the O. Next, let's check if subgroup E is a group structure. Let's check if it is closed, associative, identity element exists, and inverse element exists for all. Since the resulting elements are inside the set E, therefore, this table is closed under the binary operation star. Now, to check for the associativity, there is a need to flip the table. After flipping the table 180 degrees, let's compare the flip table to the original table. If they are the same, or not. So as we can observe, some of the columns are not the same to the original table. So there is a need to interchange some columns. So as we can see, after interchanging rows and flipping the table, the results still identical to the original table. That indicates that our table is associative. Now let's check if identity element exists. Since the first row and the first column are identical to its header column and header row, therefore identity element exists and it is alpha sub 0. To check if inverse element exists for all, let's utilize our identity element alpha sub 0. Inverse of alpha sub 0 is alpha sub 0. The inverse of alpha sub 2 is alpha sub 6. The inverse of alpha sub 4 is alpha sub 4. The inverse of alpha sub 6 is alpha sub 2. The inverse of delta 2 is delta 2. Inverse of delta 4 is delta 4. Inverse of delta sub 6 is delta sub 6. And inverse of delta sub 8 is delta sub 8. Therefore, inverse element exists for all. Now we add two additional subgroups of our permutation group. So these are the total of subgroups of our permutation group. We have the improper, proper, and trivial subgroups. So we have order of 1, order of 2, order of 4 elements, and order of 8 elements, and order of 16 elements. This order of our group is the divisor and factor of 16. That's why we only have order of 1, order of 2, order of 4, order of 8, and order of 16. It satisfies the Lagrange theorem that we tackled last time. Now let me present to you the lattice diagram of our permutation group. So we have C here, which is our order of 16 elements, our improper subgroup, and we have alpha sub 0 here that generates only the identity element alpha sub 0. We have E, F, O, which are order of 8 elements. H, I, G, B, G, order of 4 elements, and alpha delta sub 2 generates identity element alpha sub 0 and itself, as well as the other delta generator here. So here is the lattice diagram of our permutation multiplication.